stop all that Zillow daydreaming for just a moment, because here's the big question in Ada County for real estate right now. Are we heading into the typical holiday slowdown that so many people expect? Or could this fall and winter actually turn into one of the hottest fourth quarters we've seen in years? Well, that's what I'm going to go ahead and break down in today's update. Welcome to Mikey's Monthly Market Updates for September of 2025. But before we dive in, I want to remind you, if you're thinking about making a move, whether that is buying or selling a home right here in the Treasure Valley, Greater Boise, Idaho area, you don't have to do it blindly. Go to www.mpre.homes, where you can go ahead and search for homes in real time, quicker than websites like Zillow and Realtor.com, and also feel free to download my free relocation guide. That can be found in the description below, or just simply scan the QR code right over here to my left. It is all here to help you stay ahead of the market, so check it out after this video. Well, as we head into the rest of September, families have settled back into school routines, vacations are wrapped up, and the focus is shifting towards the holidays. That means we see fewer homes listed for sale, buyers often put their searches on pause, and prices tend to soften slightly. But what's interesting about this time of year is while casual shoppers fade away, the truly serious buyers and sellers step forward. The people in the market now are the ones who are motivated. They're either relocating, upsizing, downsizing, or they've been waiting for the right conditions to align. And that makes this season unique, because even if the overall number of transactions dip, the deals that do get done often move quickly and decisively. So let's dive in. Let's take a look at those numbers for Ada County, and across all single-family homes, prices remain solid. Compared to January of this year, values are almost up 4%, and compared to January of 2023, they're up nearly 19%. Even with those gains, we're still sitting at about 7% below the peak, which we saw in late spring of 2022, which was absolutely the top of the market. Month over month, from July to August, we saw another 1.8% increase in value. So momentum is still present. Inventory is holding at 2.65 months worth of supply, which keeps us tilted towards the seller's market, but it's creeping closer to a balance. Breaking that down further, existing homes, the resale market, is showing remarkable strength. Prices here are up more than 6% since January, nearly 15% since January of 2023, and about 11% since January of 2024. But from the peak in 2022, existing homes are down less than 5%, which tells us this segment has regained almost all of its lost ground. Month to month, prices rose about 1.8% since August, and inventory sits at just over 2 months. That makes resale homes extremely competitive. The well-priced, well-presented properties are still moving quickly, often with multiple interested buyers circling. Days on market is another important signal that we look at each month. And in August, the overall number of single-family homes held at about 40 days, which was slightly up from July. That's still significantly faster than we were seeing earlier this year, when homes could sit for 40 days or more before finding a buyer. A 40-day average tells us buyers are acting quickly when the right home comes along. And when we break it down further, the story gets even more interesting. Existing homes, which is the resale properties, are still moving the fastest. Buyers know these homes are often in established neighborhoods with landscaping already done and no construction zones next door. So when they are priced correctly, they don't linger long at all. In fact, many of these are moving in under the county-wide average, proving that demand in the resale market remains very strong, 29 days strong. New construction, on the other hand, is carrying a heavier timeline. While the overall days on market sit at 61 days, newly built homes tend to stay on the market longer before they close. And that's partly because of the higher level of supply. Remember, new construction has nearly 4 months of inventory compared to just over 2 months for resales. It's also because builders sometimes leave homes listed during the construction process. So the clock ticks longer even if buyers are already under contract. So what does all of this mean? Well, it means if you're a seller of an existing home, you can take confidence that well-prepared and correctly priced properties are drawing attention quickly. If you're shopping for new construction, you may find homes sitting longer, which can translate into negotiation opportunities and builder incentives. And if you're watching the total market, that 40-day average should reassure you that this is not a sluggish environment. Homes are moving. Canceled and expired listings tell another part of the story. In August, Ada County saw 318 cancellations and a slight rise from the expirations in July. That is slightly lower in cancellations from July's numbers. Where they are, though, this often signals that sellers who overshoot the market or fail to adapt their pricing strategy are pulling back. It's a reminder that even in a strong market, overpricing can push a home into limbo, especially when buyers have options. So why does this fall potentially play out differently than what history would suggest? Well, the answer lies with the Federal Reserve and the broader mortgage market. The Fed is expected to cut the federal funds rate at its September meeting, and potentially again later this year, especially now that we know that we're a million jobs off. But before we move further, let me clear up one common misconception. The Fed does not directly set mortgage rates. Mortgage pricing is determined by the bond market, especially the yield on the 10-year Treasury, and by how lenders price their own risk and spreads. But Fed policy strongly influences investor sentiment, which in turn moves bond yields and mortgage rates. We've already seen how this can play out. Back in September of 2024, when rates dipped back into the low sixes, high fives, mortgage applications spiked almost immediately. That tells us just how much pent-up demand is sitting on the sidelines, waiting for affordability to improve. Fast forward to the summer, and mortgage rates have already come down to the mid-sixes. Refinancing has surged up again, more than 20% in a single week. And while purchase activity hasn't fully rebounded yet, the stage is set for movement if rates dip further. So what does this all mean? It means that the outlook for quarter four is anything but typical. If inventory follows its seasonal pattern and declines, while at the same time mortgage interest rates slide closer to 6% or even into the high fives, we could see buyers' demand spike right when supply is tightening. And that is a recipe for a hotter than usual holiday season with more competition and potentially upward pressure on home prices, even as the calendar moves into the months where we usually see a slowdown. So here's the bottom line. Don't assume this holiday season will be quiet in real estate right here in the greater Boise, Idaho area. Yes, inventory will shrink, but if rates ease and affordability improves, serious buyers will be out there and serious sellers will be rewarded for being ready and realistic. If you're a buyer, it is the time to get prepared, line up financing, and use tools like my home search portal at www.mpre.homes so you don't miss out on home opportunities. If you're a seller, proper pricing and presentation will mean the difference between being one of the homes that sells quickly or one of the homes that ends up canceled. So don't put yourself in that trap. I'm Mike Petras with MPRE Boise, powered by NextHome Treasure Valley. And if this update helped you understand what's really happening in our market, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button below, hit the notification bell so that you're constantly in tune with videos like this. Please also give the video a like and share it with somebody who you know has been talking about making a move right here to our area. And don't forget to grab your free relocation guide. That can be found in the description below, or simply scan the QR code right over here to my left. And if you're a seller, please feel free to visit my website as well. Click on the Seller Home Evaluation tab and get your home evaluation today. Until next month, remember, stop that Zillow daydreaming because the real data tells the real story. I look forward to seeing you next time. God bless. And I look forward to the day that I call you my neighbor.